Good morning, class 8th. We were reading page number 56 in science book, and the name of this chapter is Metal and Non-Metal, chapter 4. In the previous class, we have studied about activity 4.3. Now in this class, we are going to read about chemical properties of non-metals. So students, open page number 56 in your science book and keep a pencil with you to underline hard words. Here I am going to read. Non-metals do not react with each other at normal temperature, but the reaction occurs at a high temperature. Non-metals do not react with each other at normal temperature, but they react with each other at high temperature. Now, action of oxygen on non-metals. Non-metals do not react with air at room temperature except for white phosphorus, which burns in the air oxygen at ordinary temperature and forms its oxide. It is therefore stored under water. So we have seen that normally non-metals do not react with oxygen, but white phosphorus, which is a non-metal, starts burning due to exposure to oxygen. Because of this reaction, white phosphorus is kept in water. You have to underline ordinary means normal or common, and the symbol of phosphorus is P. Now, do you know white phosphorus has been extensively used in bombs, artillery, short-range missiles and mortars since World War II. So here you have to underline some words: extensively, artillery, mortars. So white phosphorus has been extensively means boldly or in large scale, and artillery means cannery, and mortars, it is a short smooth bow gun for firing shells at high angles. So white phosphorus has been extensively used in making bombs, artillery, short-range missiles and mortars since World War II. Now turn this page. Hydrogen, when ignited in the presence of air, burns with a pop sound and forms water. Here students, you have to underline this word, ignited. I can't underline, but you can. Ignited means burning. Hydrogen catches fire when it reacts with oxygen. In this reaction, hydrogen burns and produces a pop sound and forms water. Here you can see that hydrogen reacts with oxygen. Hydrogen ignites and form water, H2O. Carbon and sulfur, when ignited, reacts with the oxygen in the air to form their oxides, and solution of which in water is acidic. So when carbon and sulfur react with oxygen which is present in air, so they start burning and form their oxides, that is carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide, and we dissolve carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide in water, and if we dissolve carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide in water, they form acidic solution. So here you can see that carbon and oxygen react to form carbon dioxide, and here sulfur and oxygen react to and form sulfur dioxide. Generally, oxides of non-metal are acidic in nature. Now, do you know? Pure phosphorus exists. Exist means stay in several forms called allotropes: white, red, violet and black phosphorus. All the allotropes have different properties. So here you can see that the different forms of phosphorus: this is white, this is red, this is violet and this is black, and they all are allotropes of phosphorus. We have previously read about allotropes. In this chapter you may remember that we had read that there are two allotropes of carbon, one is graphite and the other is diamond. Now activity 4.4. You have an aim or an objective to observe the action of oxygen on sulfur. So here observation: first you have to take a small amount of sulfur powder in a deflagrating spoon. First underline this word. Do you know? This laboratory tool? Deflagrating spoon. It is a long handled spoon used for heating substance until they burn away. So you have to take a small amount of sulfur powder in deflagrating spoon and you have to heat it as shown in figure 4.9 like this. Now heat the sulfur powder on a low flame. When sulfur starts burning, introduce the spoon into a glass jar and cover it with a lid. Do not expose yourself to the fumes as they are toxic. So you have to heat the sulfur powder in a deflagrating spoon on a low flame. When sulfur starts burning, you have to put the spoon into a glass jar and you have to cover the glass jar with a lid. Now you have to stay away from the fumes of sulfur because they can be toxic for you all. Now put a small amount of water into the jar and shake it. Now you have to put a small amount of water into the jar and you have to shake the jar. Test the solution with a blue litmus paper. What do you observe? Does the blue litmus turn red? Why? Inference: sulfur reacts with oxygen in the air to form sulfur dioxide, which when dissolved in water forms sulfurous acid that turns blue litmus red. So we have seen that sulfur reacts with the oxygen present in the air to form sulfur dioxide, and when we dissolve it in water it forms sulfurous acid, which is an acid, and the acid has the property that it turns blue litmus paper into red. Here you can see the reaction that sulfur, when reacts with oxygen, it forms sulfur dioxide, and the sulfur dioxide reacts with water, it forms sulfurous acid S2SO3. Now you have to tell, if S2SO3 is sulfurous acid, so what do you call 2S2SO3? 4. Tell me the name of this chemical formula. Now, action of water on non-metal. In general, non-metal do not react with water. Oxygen dissolves in water to some extent. Here you have to underline extent. Extent means limitation. This property of solubility of oxygen in water is responsible for the sustenance of plant and animal life underwater. Aquatic plant and animal utilize oxygen dissolved in water for respiration. You have to underline here. Sustenance means nourishment. Aquatic means animal or plant. That can stay in water. Now from this paragraph we have understood that oxygen remains dissolved in a limited amount in water, and this oxygen rich water is a life resource for animals and plants on this earth. Animal and plant living in water survive only by oxygen in the water, and they take water, oxygen rich water for their respiration. Now key fact: nitrogen was discovered by Daniel Rutherford in 1772. He removed oxygen and carbon dioxide from the air and showed that the residual gas does not support combustion or life. So here you have to underline residual. Residual means remaining. Combustion means inflammation. So Rutherford removed oxygen and carbon dioxide from the air and showed that the remaining gas does not support life. Is that clear, students? And after it he discovered nitrogen. Now chlorine Cl2 dissolves in water and forms an acidic solution. When this solution is heated or placed in the sunlight, it forms hydrochloric acid and oxygen. So here we can see the reaction on page number 58, that when chlorine reacts with water in the presence of heat and sunlight, it forms hydrochloric acid and the oxygen. You all know that hydrochloric acid is the strong acid. Non-metals generally do not react with acids and bases in a normal temperature condition. So here you can note down this important point, that non-metals do not react with acid and bases like metals in a normal temperature. If they react, so they need high temperature for the reaction. So class 8th, that's all for today. In the next class we will see uses of metals and the key point. So thank you class. Just a minute.